Hey there guys, and welcome to another day in paradise. I'm back on the Scrambler. Now today has every reason to be a very good day, but sadly today's topic is not going to be quite so positive and jolly. Today it's time to talk about Brexit again. What I'm going to talk about today, I've kind of already discussed before. Around about 9 months ago, following the democratic decision for Britain deciding to leave the EU, I recorded a video with my thoughts. So that first video had been recorded as the Brexit vote had come in, and the shock and awe of our democratic system was still very fresh, raw. We're 9 months down the line now, when it appears to me that there are still people living in total and utter disbelief that this is actually happening. And this really, the only, well, my viewpoint on it is quite simple actually. Fucking get over it. We need to crack on with making it work now. Now when that bombshell dropped that Britain had decided to vote to leave the EU, to stick two fingers up at the leftist, the liberal establishment telling us that we can't do these things, there was understandable shock, panic, awe, and some outrage as well. And then everything sort of went quiet. Here we now are. Article 50 has been triggered. We have started the formal process of leaving the EU. I think the other half of the reason why it all sort of went quite quiet is because there was another story of hugely political significance that was going on across the pond with our colonial cousins in America. And I don't know, I maybe think that we owe the rest of the world an apology for that. I genuinely think maybe, or I think there is a link between us dropping that first bombshell against the established political order to vote to leave the EU, something nobody thought could possibly happen. And then we end up with President Donald Trump. And I can't help but feel that if Brexit hadn't have happened, maybe that gave hope to all those people who wanted to stick two fingers up at the established order, at everything that they have known and still don't like, everything that was safe. And that maybe, had Brexit not occurred, the Americans might not have gathered the belief, courage is the wrong word, but belief that actually they could affect a radical change as well. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that one, but I certainly feel that there was a bit of a link between the two. I don't think that President Donald Trump could possibly have happened without Brexit, without us Brits paving the way. For the record, I'm massively in favour of Brexit, but I am not massively in favour of Donald Trump. No chance. I mean, I think that guy is going to make history, even more than he already has done, but for all the wrong reasons. So what now? What happens now? And more importantly, from my perspective, where do I fit into it? It's given me a slightly different perspective on it that I think a lot of people are failing to take into account amid all of the fucking hysteria in the grand scheme of things, I don't think much is going to fucking change over the next 2 years on a day-to-day basis. I don't think there are going to be many massive shocks. My understanding is that they want to make it as smooth a transition as possible. Nobody really wants to upset the apple cart any more than it has been. So why go for wholesale changes? You're dealing with people's lives and livelihoods here. So the first port of call, I believe, is to basically enshrine all of European law over the last 40 years and make it British law. Not a bad idea. We're all used to being ruled by the Europeans and some of their stupid laws, and if we enshrine it into our law, it means that we can go through one by one by one by one and go, right, keep bin, keep bin, keep bin. And we can basically, like I say, you can't expect to undo 40 years of political lawmaking and turn it on its head in two. So let's just stick with the status quo at the moment. Let's stick with what we've got and then slowly pick our way through it as we decide or feel that it's no longer relevant or applicable or suitable to having British law for the British public, which does also include employment law and the rights of people to work in the UK. A lot of what we've seen covered on BBC, Sky, CNN and all that sort of lot is in reference to what happens to the Brits living abroad in European countries and what happens to the EU citizens living and working in the UK. Well, I think before you get all panicked and hysterical, you need to ask yourself a question. Are you bringing something worthwhile to this country? It's a simple question. It's a yes or no question. Do you think that you bring something to this country that either Britain, or if you did it in another country, would benefit from your presence in the UK and your work ethic, your services? Do you run a business? Do you employ people? Do you bring a skill set? Do you bring qualifications into the UK? Do you bring hard working ethic, track record of good work and good service? If you can honestly put your hand on your heart and say yes to that, have you got anything to fear? I mean, I'm living proof of it. To be fair, I am living exactly what I am talking about. If you have qualifications, if you have skills, if you have a work ethic and a determination to move to a different country that you were not born in, you are not naturally a resident of, and you have the determination to succeed and bring something to the country that wasn't already there, or take something that was there and improve it, why on earth would any country in the world choose to turn you away and throw you out if you were contributing? If you bring something into the country, there is no country in its fucking mind who are going to turn you away, or if you were already established here, are going to throw you out simply because of where you were born, simply because of your birthright nationality. Alright? Especially fucking Britain. It's not the British way to get rid of people who bring something and provide something and deserve to be here, you know? That's not the British way. And long may that continue. Alright, you might have to fill out some more fucking paperwork. You might have to obtain a visa. That is not a pleasant process. I understand that because I've had to go through exactly the same thing to get into this country to do what I'm doing. I think there's a lot of people who are going to be getting over, who are currently getting worried over nothing. They are fearful for fear's sake. We are not suddenly going to turn into the Americans, the Trumpites, and we're not suddenly going to start deporting people or rejecting people's genuine applications to come into our country for seemingly no fucking reason. As for the Ramonas, do us a favour, open your eyes, get on fucking board. There's no point crying over spilt milk. We have to make this work. It's as simple as that. The only way we can make this work is if everybody's pulling in the right direction. You may not like it, but guess what? You haven't got a fucking choice. It's happening. You've had 9 months to prepare yourself for it. It's now happening. We have 2 years to get our shit together and make ready for the next step of an independent United Kingdom. And basically, if you can't bring yourselves to pull in the same direction as everybody else to make it a success, you've got two options. One, accept that you are part of any failures. Or two, fuck off. Seriously, if you've got skills, if you've got talents, if you've got qualifications, and you don't want to live in the United Kingdom because it's not part of the EU, I'm sure there are dozens of EU countries that will gladly allow you to come in and sling shit back in the United Kingdom. You never know, you might find the grass isn't greener on the other side. You might go out and have some life experiences. You might go and live a little. I'm just throwing it out there, you know. There's a simple option. You don't like it? Fuck off. Harsh, but fair, I think. Right. Back to being happy. It's great to be back on the Scrambler. And now I'm going to concentrate on the job in hand of getting my arse back up the road to Tave and scrubbing in this new rear tyre. So please leave your comments down below the video. Please let me know your thoughts. Please try and play nicely. There's no need to get into a shit slinging match or being childish or puerile. Alright, don't forget you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, or Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, whatever your fucking preference is. Okay, DME vlogs on Facebook, at Mr. Chip Murphy on Twitter and Instagram. Please leave your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Assalamu guys. I've been very, very lucky that every time I've come back to the UK, there has been a sudden upturn in the weather, regardless of what time of the year it's been. I cannot recommend enough that if your conditions allow you to do so, give it a go.